One of our big challenges has been performance. You know, we don't want jank associated with it. We want the game to run well, to play well. It is being targeted as a really pretty looking game, so it's not necessarily that we're going to support the game on absolutely every card you could have, but on what we plan to support, we want the game to run very consistently and very well. So working with NVIDIA, they've been able to give us a lot of help and a lot of technology to figure out how to get the most of either maybe your slightly old graphics card, but certainly your new graphics card as well. To deliver that, we have to keep the game on stable ground. It's very challenging for a game of this size to deliver that, and it takes a lot of work. So we've got quite a regimented process around that. We call it the plan of plans. So that's a high level plan we've done of everything that's needed up until and beyond release. And then beyond that, each team actually goes away and does a detailed itemized plan of everything that's needed. You also have all our DevOps work, so ensuring we've got capacity testing for our central server, which stores all your data, as well as starting to roll up the production stuff so that we can support beta and stuff like that. And then on the Vanguard side, which is our tech team side, we have a lot of basically weekly reporting going through profiling the frame. So what are we spending time on? Are we GPU bound? Are we CPU bound? And why? Starting to really understand what we're spending time on in the game in terms of running it at runtime and how can we make it run better and more efficiently. Additionally, there's sort of a lot of housework going on the design front as we start to balance the game. A great example would be when we first implemented the XP mechanics. Everything was giving you 10 XP. Every time you balance that stuff, you make a bunch of changes and you need to play and test it. And that's very much our philosophy is games are played, not made. So every week we do this play test, and we get together with the vision team, which is their design team, and we have a gloves are off sort of slinging match where we try and tear the game to pieces. And we do that in private actually, because it's important that we go through, we test and feel confident to be able to just tear our game to pieces and then try and come up with some good solutions. Make sure we filter that through our leadership team to make sure those things are possible, and that really just helps keep us being critical of the game while also making sure that we're not, tearing the entire development to pieces.
I really don't want to be the person who runs into the campfire and sets the cabin alight.
Oh, listen.
I'll try my best not to.
What do your alphis see, Legolas?
It's topical because this is New Zealand.
This is Icarus. We're going to run out of oxygen if we stay too long. Whoa!
Yeah.
Run with the itchy trigger finger.
Unlawful discharge. Oh my god,
Light
did
it
I
on
just
fire.
see the I can see him running through the trees. Light it on
Oh
fire,
no, I
Mason.
ran into the bear. Mason, just keep running. It's on me. The bear is on fire.
Let it burn to death.
Okay.
No.
Don't do
continue
that.
to shoot it, please. Please.
I'm out of ammo.
So we're coming to the end of Icarus's development before launch. And what that means for us is that we need to prepare for our beta, which is getting our game out into players' hands so we can get really valuable feedback on Icarus, and so that we can use that feedback to influence the title. Before we do that, we need to make sure the game is ready for people to play. And one of the biggest goals for us was performance. Recently, we'd come into some performance issues. This is because when you're making a game, as you get to the end, there's less time to prototype, to harden or bug fix or optimize. And stuff's getting chucked in the game so we can get all the features that we know we want to put in there. As a technical team, you usually do a good job of kind of fielding off that and making sure you're optimizing as you go, but things creep up on you. Thankfully, thanks to the really awesome profiling tools in Unreal Engine like Insights and their Gauntlet automated testing, we were able to get heaps of very valuable statistics that we could use to trace down exactly what was going on. Some of it was pretty funny, like really dumb stuff that we shouldn't be doing, but hey, that was really easy for us to fix. And I was really stoked with what this team managed to put together in terms of performance and optimization. I'm really stoked with where the game is at now. And like I was saying, what that means for us is we can release the game into beta for you guys at some point. And when we do that, you'll be able to submit feedback and we'll use that to drive the path of Icarus. And we want to make sure that the things that you're reporting aren't stuff we already know about, like performance issues. So it's been really cool seeing the team rally together for that, and hopefully what you guys get to play soon is something that you really enjoy.
When you're down on the planet doing a prospect, you are playing a traditional Unreal peer-to-peer game. One person will be the host, they'll be running a listen server, and then other people are clients that join in there. We save the state about every 10 seconds. The listen server pushes the state to our backend servers to allow us to have prospects that go beyond a single session. Maybe the prospect is supposed to last 24 hours. After a few hours, it's getting late, everybody goes to bed. The next day, one of your friends gets up early, you were the host originally, they'll become the host and their listen server will go load that state information off the back end. We also on the back end have our SQL server. This is where we're keeping track of all your characters, making sure that they stay persistent. Also, your general account information, stuff that's separate from an individual character, like the amount of exotics that you've earned. As we've been preparing for the beta, we've been doing a lot of stress testing on these servers. Getting server performance up to speed when all you have are your small development team getting in there. You don't get that many concurrence numbers, so one of my engineers built a stress client, and we've been able to simulate over 8,000 clients connecting simultaneously. One of the things that's very challenging on games is you don't know how many people are going to be there on day one. We'll also be able to track how fast people are leveling, how fast people are going through various content, and this will help the game designers then figure out where more content needs to be added. We also have customer service tools and things like that that we need to build. A lot of that works through the back end. So there's a lot of things that we're going to learn once we get actual players into the game in our beta.
So it's been working out really well, and you're definitely starting to feel the balance come together. But we know we're rushing towards this point where we need the beta, and you can feel it. The game needs its players, and it needs that for the balancing pass. And I think if you look at any big release of any game, you can see that no matter how good the dev team is, it's the players who really give you that feedback. As we've grown the community, we've actually got this fantastic Discord that our designers, myself, and many members of the team are actually in and talking to. So we're able to sort of gauge some things in advance about what players are wanting and what their concerns are about the game, and we're able to address some of those, but realistically, most of that result is going to have to come out of the beta. And also, how can we support day one patch and weekly patches after that, including content and fixes? Because I think with a living game like this, people want to see it grow, they want to see those fixes and changes comes in as quickly as possible.